apostles of Awful. You've hunted well.
Max. My name is Max.
In Mad Max, you begin with nothing. Your car, your family, your life. Everything has been taken from you.
Mad Max is an excellent open-world game. Yes, it's a game of the classic Mad Max. It was developed by the studio Avalanche Studios and released in 2015, 10 years ago, and it's to this day an insane game with an immersive universe, great gameplay, and a good feeling of progress. That makes the game really unique and fun. The game is available on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, macOS, Linux, and Microsoft Windows, and of course it's also available in the current generation through the retro compatibility. So if you're a fan of Mad Max films and also like video games, this game is insane, or even you that never watched any movie, it's still really good, and is really worth to play. I believe you'll even want to watch the movies when you finish the game.
The first thing you must do is build a new car.
Here she lies, the magnum opus.
This is your magnum opus. Acquiring necessary gear throughout your journey allows you to upgrade your vehicle. These upgrades will let you build and customize your magnum opus just the way you want. In addition, you will need to equip yourself with armor and weapons in order to stand a chance against your enemies.
Geppetto's puppet. We need your help.
Lies of P is one of the best Souls-like game by Anam from Software Studio. It's my favorite one actually, without counting from software games. It was developed by the studios Round 8 and Neowiz, and released in 2023 to PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, Windows, and Mac. If you like Souls-like game, this is an excellent game for you. The gameplay is tight and fluid, with excellent enemies, different weapons, builds, armors, powers, and of course, insane boss fights, some that in my opinion are even better than some from software boss fights. The only point of the game that didn't please me is that it's extremely linear, you'll never feel lost or even think if you're going in the right way, cause usually there's only one way. But it's really worth to play.
Your lies are a rare ability.
Power beyond your imagination.
Come back to me, Carlo.
Lie to protect yourself.
You stole my sister from me, rotten puppets!
Be careful, clever one.
Glad you're on this case with me, Anderson. It's right up your alley.
The victim was one of their own. FBI Special Agent Robert Nightingale. In a horror story, there are only victims and monsters. And the trick is not to end up as either. But trapped by the genre, we're all ripped to pieces along the way.
No! Welcome! We have a great show for you here tonight.
Someone knew they were here.
Alan Wake 2 is a masterpiece of the horror games that didn't get the attention deserved. The game was developed by Remedy Entertainment and released in 2023 to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. The game was in the Game Awards for the Game of the Year, but lost to Baldur's Gate 3. But for me, my Game of the Year was Alan Wake 2. The game is a sequel of the original game released in 2010 that was an insane horror game with an impressive story and storytelling, and in the second game they rose it to another level with impressive realistic graphics and insane gameplay, extremely immersive, great boss fights, many different puzzles, and mind-blowing moments with an excellent soundtrack and audio design. And don't worry, you won't understand 100% of the story in the first gameplay.
There's something I'm forgetting. Something important. Something's not right!
Easy now. First things first. What's your name?
I've long waited for this moment. With your death, I will find peace.
I'm going to find Black Mask and put an end to this.
Batman Arkham Origins is the forgotten game of this series. Well, it's not exactly of the same series. It was developed by another studio, different of all other games, but is set in the same universe, set before of all other games. The structure is really similar to Arkham City, set in an open world, with quests and side quests in the same style. The combat is basically the same too, with some small differences. It was developed by the studio Warner Bros. And released in 2013 to PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Nintendo Wii U, and Microsoft Windows, and many people didn't play it cause it didn't get as famous as the others, and no, it's not as good as the other games, but is still a solid Batman experience in a video game. If you played all the others and didn't play this one, I recommend you to.
Kill him and I'll pay you whatever you want. Make him suffer and I'll double it. Scream for me!
I present to you the death of the Batman.
Pardon, vigilante. You're a young man with a trust fund and too much anger.
I am the reason the criminals breathe easier when the sun rises.
Sea of Stars is an excellent turn-based RPG game. I know that some people don't like turn-based games nowadays, but believe me, this one is excellent. It's set in a beautiful world with an amazing soundtrack and gorgeous graphics. The combat is in a turn-based system, yeah, but there are action moments as you play. In some attacks you'll need to press the button in the right moment, or even to defend from attacks. That will diminish the damage taken, so you'll always feel connected to the gameplay. The game was developed by the studio Sabotage Studio and released in 2023 to PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, Nintendo Switch, and Windows. So if you like turn-based RPG games and didn't play this one, do it, or if you never played any, this one is great to start playing.
Fair warning. This is gonna be weirder than usual. Can't be helped. My brother was just a kid when they took him. You called me. So here I am.
Control is another game developed by the studio Remedy Entertainment. It was released in 2019 and was also running for the Game of the Year, but didn't get it too. It's available on PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, Nintendo Switch, and Windows. The game is set in the same universe of Alan Wake. There's even a DLC totally connected to Alan Wake, and it's awesome. In the game we'll explore a building that's not exactly what it seems to be. As we play we get even more connected to the world and characters, and this game, like Alan Wake 2, is a masterpiece in a matter on art direction. It's in another level, and I'm serious. The combat is a third-person shooter, and feels like a third-person Metroidvania 2. As you advance you get more powers and weapons, that'll allow you to go even further.
always been angels, there have always been demons, and there've always been a war.
My guns?
DMC is the forgotten game of the beloved hack-and-slash series Devil May Cry. The game is kinda despised by some fans of the series, but to be honest, this is easily the game with the best gameplay of the whole series for me. I know that some old school fans don't like it, cause it was an attempt to reboot the series, and they changed some things, especially the visual of Dante, but I agree that it's not badass as the classic games, but in the gameplay for me, it's the most fun. The game was developed by the studio Ninja Theory and released in 2013 to PlayStation 3 and 4, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and Windows. So if you never played cause some people disliked it, go play it. I assure you that the gameplay is absurd, and you'll change your mind about the game.
Your parents put you under my care. We came to Hillis. Back then, it was a peaceful planet. I had hoped to raise you there safely.
Beyond Good and Evil is an old action game that was forgotten in the time, but the good part is that there's a new version of the game now that allows you to play this insane adventure with a better quality. The original game was developed by Ubisoft and released in 2003 to PlayStation 2, Xbox, and Nintendo GameCube, but it's now available to PlayStation 3, 4, and 5, Nintendo Switch, Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, Amazon Luna, and Windows. The game is set in a sort of open land. You're a reporter that's investigating a mystery, and you'll end up in the middle of something dangerous. In the game there are combat moments, exploration, investigation, and platformer, and that with a lot of charisma and originality, like we know that Ubisoft used to have these, and so far it's a really good game.
This peaceful mining planet in System 4 is now completely encircled by the Dark Armada. General Tech Supreme Commander
on, honey, whether you like it or not. Wow! A Arauco D-53. Free yourself, Jake!
Nazi scum.
You've stayed with us for 14 years.
The Nazis rule the world.
I'll find them and I'll help them fight.
BJ Blazkowicz.
I thought I was a goner, and here you are, back from the dead.
Wolfenstein: The New Order is the reboot of the first FPS series of all time, and it's an excellent reboot. If you've never played, you shall. It was developed by the studio Machine Games, the same studio of the last Indiana Jones game, that's very good too, but here it's totally different. It's a fast-paced FPS game, set in an alternative world after World War II, a universe that Germany wanted, and now you, as an American, must fight to resist the pressure of the New World government, and believe me, the story is immersive and really fun. The game was released in 2014, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, Xbox One, Xbox 360, and Microsoft Windows. The gameplay resembles a little bit the new Doom games, but not that fast, and with some unique features that I'm sure you'll enjoy.
I like you, such a resilient specimen.
Last winter, we were up on Farewell Ridge. We're watching the freaks. Thousands of them, I mean too many to count, are now homeless. World belongs to them now.
Bring it!
We'll survive.
Days Gone is a game that was really wronged in the start, especially because of some bugs, but today the game is way better. It was developed by the Studio Bend Studio, a PlayStation studio, and released in 2019 to PlayStation 4, but today there's a PlayStation 5 and Windows version 2, with some small improvements. The world is no longer a place for humans, there are zombies everywhere, and they're many. You've got a motorcycle, that's going to be your journey partner. You'll make improvements, making it always better. You'll get many different weapons, meet different people, and explore an immersive and destroyed, yet beautiful open world. So if you didn't play it cause of the launch, it's really worth to play now. So bad that the sequel was kinda cancelled back then.
Two dogs! Damn it! Stop, Two Dog!
Or for a future that matters, the hell are we fighting for?
Outer Wilds is a unique game about exploration, mysteries, and puzzles, all that's set in different places of the solar system. The game was developed by the studio Mobius Digital and released in 2020 to PlayStation 4 and 5, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and Microsoft Windows. Outer Wilds is a critically acclaimed and award-winning open-world mystery about a solar system trapped in an endless time loop. You're the newest recruit of Outer Wilds Ventures, a fledgling space program searching for answers in a strange, constantly evolving solar system. As you explore the game, you'll see things getting connected with answers and more mysteries. What will make your playtime in the game better at every new discovery, making the experience in the game really unique.
I sense suffering here, Spirit. Do you need help?
Death and corruption are all that remain here. Turn back.
My father was a spirit guide.
Kena Bridge of Spirits is a story-driven, action-adventure combining exploration with fast-paced combat. Untangle the past as Kena, a young spirit guide in search of the sacred mountain shrine. Help free the spirits trapped in a forgotten village with the help of the Rot, her adorable, yet powerful, spirit companions. The game was developed by Ember Lab and released in 2021 to PlayStation 4 and 5, but in the next years it was released to Windows, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S. The visual style of the game is really beautiful, yet with a simple graphic style. The story is good and fun, with good characters, and good cinematic moments, but the best of the game is the gameplay itself, with platforming challenges, exploration, and combat. What is the best thing of the game in my opinion, with a fluid and stylish combat, even got some Souls-like features.
What are you hiding? Why are you here?
Proteus is a game really similar to the new Doom games in the gameplay. It was developed by the studio Bounding Box Software and released in 2022 to Xbox One and Series, PlayStation 4 and 5, Nintendo Switch, macOS, Linux, and Windows. Experience the quality you'd expect from a modern AAA game, designed with retro aesthetics and gameplay that invoke the tech-imposed limits of older hardware. The game features a handcrafted campaign from industry FPS veterans, co-op and competitive multiplayer play drawing on classic modes, a fully integrated level editor, and a built-in community map browser for instantaneous action with nearly limitless levels to play. But for you, fan of single-player boomer shooter games, this one won't let you down. Ultra Kill is a fast-paced, ultra-violent retro FPS, combining the skill-based style scoring from character action games with unadulterated carnage inspired by the best shooters of the 90s. Rip apart your foes with very destructive weapons and shower in their blood to regain your health. Game developed by RC Padala, also known as Hikita, and released in 2020, and it's available on Windows, Linux, and Amazon Luna. It's a boomer shooter, yeah, but an original and unique one. The graphics are simple, but the game is all about mechanics, rewarding you for being fast and stylish. And believe me, this game gives you many different ways to defeat your enemies, and is more stylish the way you kill. More and more points you'll get, making the gameplay loop of the game extremely rewarding. Project Snowblind is a futuristic and technological first-person shooter game. It was developed by the studio Crystal Dynamics and released in 2005 to Xbox, PlayStation 2, and Windows. Experience the dramatic intensity of the front lines of a war through the eyes of the first of a new breed of super soldiers in this gritty and epic first-person action game. An augmented super soldier must stop a renegade regime from eradicating the civilized world. A very fun game for you, fan of PlayStation 2 era, since it's a game that will give you nostalgia of those times, even if you've never played the game.
I tell you, it takes a lot of rage to stare across 8 realms of hell, an ocean of demons, into the eyes of the Red Judge and still think, I'm coming for you.
Metal Hellsinger is a shooter game completely inspired in the new Doom games, but the point here is that the combat of the game is also mixed with a rhythm feature. If you shoot in the right moments of the songs, you'll cause more damage. What makes the gameplay even more satisfying is you learn. The game was developed by the studio The Outsiders and released in 2022 to Xbox One and Series, PlayStation 4 and 5, and Windows. Slay to the rhythm of metal and vengeance on an infernal journey through the 8 hells. Hellsinger is a rhythm FPS bursting with demons, badass weapons, and heavy metal music. An excellent game for you fan of the new Doom games and want to play something similar.
Her guns were the drums of hell. Me? I'm just a fan.
I'm still here. Holding on. Let this fire break. Let this scorching last.
Stray is a unique game that you play as a cat. That's the reason this game got famous, but it's much more than a simple cat game. It was developed by the studio Blue12 Studio and released in 2022, and today you can play it on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4 and 5, macOS, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and Microsoft Windows. Lost, alone and separated from family, a stray cat must untangle an ancient mystery to escape a long-forgotten cyber city and find their way home. As you start playing, you'll understand the gameplay. That's simple, but fluid and really fun. As you keep advancing in the story, you'll feel really connected to that world and mysteries. That for me is extremely immersive. In the game you can do basically everything a cat would do, and everything got a use in the game: to escape, solve puzzles, and much more.
When the ruinous powers of chaos unleash their foulest abominations, who will prevail against the darkness? The Ultramarines! Boltgun is a gory, rapid-fire boomer shooter blast from the past!
Warhammer 40,000 Boltgun is a game that amazed me when I played. It's a boomer shooter with a retro visual style like the classic Doom games, but with a modern gameplay. What makes it really addictive? The game was developed by the studio Auroch Digital and released in 2023 to Nintendo Switch, Xbox One and Series, PlayStation 4 and 5, and Windows. Load up your Boltgun and unleash the awesome Space Marine arsenal to blast your way through an explosion of sprites, pixels and blood in a perfect blend of Warhammer 40,000. Frenetic gameplay and the stylish visuals of 90s retro shooters. A game that is a true tribute to the creators of first-person games, and also an amazing boomer shooter experience that you gotta have.
Take control of a mighty Sternguard veteran and plunge headlong into the grim, dark universe of Warhammer 40,000. Summoned by the Inquisition, you'll scour Graia, a forge world on the brink, overrun by cultists, traitors, and chaos demons.
Blake, it's Whitley. What's the situation?
Not good.
What do you mean?
The base is gone, Colonel. It looks like massive explosives damage.
Understood. Keep your team together and get them to shelter as quickly as you can.
The Thing is a unique third-person survival horror game released in 2002, and yes, it's based in the movie with the same name. The game was developed by the studio Black Label Games and released to Xbox, PlayStation 2, and Windows, but recently a remastered version of the game was released to Windows, Xbox One and Series, and PlayStation 4 and 5. You are J.F. Blake, leader of a U.S. Special Forces rescue team sent to investigate the blood-curdling events and enigmatic deaths of the American scientific team that transpired at the Outpost 31 research facility, located in the frozen wastelands of Antarctica. A game with multiple gameplay possibilities that will get you really connected to the story.
Men are dying out there.
You're out of your league here, Blake. This game is just beginning.
Gun is an insane open-world game set in a western United States. If you like Red Dead Redemption and would like to play something in the same style on PlayStation 2, this is the game. We also have Red Dead Revolver on PlayStation 2, but it's totally different of Red Dead Redemption. Gun is kinda similar, and it was developed by Neversoft, Activision, and released in 2005 to PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube, PC, and later on PSP. The game is set in a beautiful and immersive western universe with a good gameplay and fun characters. To fight the enemies you can do it in different ways with different guns, which there's a lot in the game. Use knives, even use enemies as human cover, what is really fun too, and even play being stealthy when you can. So if you want to try something different in the style of Red Dead, this is a good one.
Get his goal!